So, is it a good idea to move during a pandemic? Let's talk about it. Hello, this is Lisa Dunn with RE/MAX Results and the Change Agents Group. So, if you've been thinking about moving right now, have you wondered if it's really a good idea? We're in 2020 where Murphy's Law seems to prevail. If it can go wrong, it will. And with everything happening, we decided to get up and move. We just moved into our new home a couple of weeks ago. If you look behind me, you'll still see a box sitting back there, and my background is different than any of the other videos you've seen me do. So yes, we moved. And if a real estate agent picks up and moves during a pandemic, it probably tells you it's a good time to move. So it's been a while though since I have been in the thick of the process of moving, and I wanted to share some tips with you about what I learned. As is with everything else today, everything takes a little bit longer and is a little bit more challenging. So my first tip for you is that you make sure that you plan far in advance. And along with that, if you have the opportunity to move other than the last week of the month, you will probably serve yourself really well. There are a shortage of workers available to help you move. Move companies tend to be busiest at the end of the month. So if they're already booking out, if you can change when you move during the month, the vendors that you work with won't be quite as busy. The customer service you receive might just be a little bit better. You're not going to have some of the challenges that I've seen with some of our closings that last week of the month. All of the money for transactions goes through the Federal Reserve, at least for mortgages, goes through the Federal Reserve before it shows up at the closing table. And if you can make arrangements to not compete with all of the other loans that the Federal Reserve is trying to fund on the last 1 or 2 days of the month, you'll serve yourself well. So plan ahead and avoid the last week of the month if you can. Number 2, moving companies. They've been moving now during the pandemic for 7-8 months, and they've really got it down to a science. Side note. Do you know AAA movers? If you don't know them, get to know them. They are fantastic. So they helped me move, and they have helped a number of my clients move. And every time I refer them, I get raving reviews. They also are intimately involved with one of the charities that I work with, which is the Silver Closet. It's a furniture bank, if you will, specifically set up to serve seniors. And they give back. They're stand-up guys, and it's family owned, so it's not a franchise. So you know that the people in the office are the people that are accountable for helping you. So AAA movers, if you don't know them. So anyways, movers. What we did for our movers is we had a sanitation kit available, and that was both for us and for our movers. So we made sure that we had a hand sanitizer available, hand wipes. If you're not lucky enough to have hand wipes in your home, grab some paper towels and some spray disinfectant and make your own little hand wipes. And we had those available. Our movers wore masks the whole time that they were in our home, and actually they wore them even as they were walking up to the home and while they were standing outside. So I really appreciated that. Your movers know what to do and they know what to expect. They likely don't even have to come to your home to give you an estimate. So if you're shopping for movers, you may find that they are asking you to take your phone and kind of walk through your home and record the kinds of belongings that you have. AAA movers, when I worked with them, asked me to fill out an inventory sheet. They asked me to estimate the number of boxes I had. I said, I have no idea how many boxes I'm going to have. He said, well, let's do this. Let's take the number you gave me and triple it. And it's probably going to be closer than what you started with. So talk to your movers if you have questions about the estimate. Like I said, many of them are doing it virtually, so they don't have to come to your home. So that's one less person for you to have to worry about. In addition, that idea that I talked about with planning ahead, make sure that if you are downsizing and if you're moving into a senior housing apartment, which so many of our clients are, because that's who I work with as a real estate agent, so many of our clients are downsizing. Make sure that you plan ahead, that the people that you hire for movers know what the processes and procedures are at the senior housing building you're moving into. So many of the senior housing buildings, at least in the Twin Cities metro, have rules about how many movers can be in the building, what requirements they have. Many of them require face shields. So you'll want to make sure that your movers come prepared for that. You'll want to make sure that the elevator that you're going to be moving in is on the side of the building where your movers pull up. They know where they can move. You'll want to reserve the elevator for the movers. Many senior housing communities have one elevator that they use for moves. So plan ahead and make sure that your moving company and the senior housing community are talking with each other. So that's a tip on movers and apartment buildings. And finally, just a note about packing. You will want to allow additional time to pack your home. If you're doing it yourself, if you've decided to not hire one of the fabulous senior move managers we have in the metro, and you or your family are doing it yourself, just know that it's going to take way longer than you think it is, because every item that you pick up, you have to make a decision about. Am I going to keep it? Am I going to donate it? Is it donatable? So many of the donation sites now are not taking as much as they used to. So if it's not donatable, what will you do with it? So it's not as easy as picking things up and throwing them in a box, because you don't want to bring the things with that you don't want. Why would you pay someone to move something that you're just going to get rid of when you get to the new place? So do all of that ahead of time and make sure that you allow plenty of time. For me, I was astonished at how long it took. Even packing something like my kitchen really took me probably 12 hours just to do my kitchen, because I was trying to be so thoughtful about what I brought with and what I didn't bring with. So make sure that you allow extra time. And finally, just remember that this is your move. Now is the time for you to make your move. Don't let some pandemic stop you. There's lots of things that you can do to put in place to stay safe, to keep your movers safe, and to make sure that the process goes as smoothly as possible. Hopefully your real estate agent can help you iron out some of those logistics as well. And as always, if you ever have questions, you really do have an open invitation to get in touch with me anytime. My email is lisa@thechangeagent.net, or you can always leave comments below and I will respond to those as quickly as possible. So that's it for me today. Make it a great day.